Hi, boys and girls. I am back on YouTube to share a read aloud with you today. And I decided to because it's such a dreary day outside and it's a perfect day to curl up and read a good book. So the book I picked for you today is called Lost in the Library. And it is a story about patience and fortitude. And Patience is the name of a lion in the story, and Fortitude is the name of a lion in the story. So I am going to get started reading, and I want you to think about some things. We're going to look at some new vocabulary words, some words that can help us understand the story better. And here's our mascot, Millie, here to help us understand the story better, and it could also help us to be better writers too, as we're thinking about our realistic fiction that we're starting to write. And we're going to think about the characters too and what kind of traits they have. Now, these characters are not realistic characters because they're animals that talk, but they might have similar traits that we really do have as characters. So I'm going to start with Lost in the Library, and I'll show you the cover. Here you see one of the characters, either Patience or Fortitude, laying down reading books. And here is a picture of a library, and this is actually a real library in New York City. Oh, here we are. Early one morning, while all New York slept, night was transforming to dawn. Silence filled all of Manhattan, except Fortitude woke with a yawn. "Patience, good morning," he said from his plinth. But Patience was nowhere in sight. He'd entered the library's grand labyrinth with no one was watching last night. When no one was watching last night. And a plinth is the bottom part of a pillar. So that's a new vocabulary word probably many of you have not heard before. Fortitude never abandoned his post, but Patience had not yet returned. As sunlight ascended across the East Coast, Fortitude grew quite concerned. "How could he do this? He's never been late." Fortitude leapt on all fours. Lacking all patience, he couldn't just wait and scampered through Astor Hall's doors. There's the big library again. The ceiling above was 12 elephants tall and dozens of buffaloes wide. Patience told stories of rooms like this hall, but it was a new world inside. Twisting and turning, he noticed some stairs. Patience might climb, he supposed. When reaching the top, he was caught unawares. That looks like a beautiful building to be in. A frolicsome statuette posed, which is a girl statue. "Looking for someone?" she asked with a grin. Fortitude nodded his head. "Patience, my partner, my sidekick, my twin. I really must find him," he said. "The Rosamine reading room, back to your right. Sometimes he's there," the girl stated. Fortitude thanked her and ran out of sight, hoping his buddy awaited. Over and under the tables and chairs, Fortitude looked high and low. Searching the shelves on the walls up the stairs, Fortitude paced to and fro. After what felt like forever, he ceased. Patience just wasn't around. Fortitude heard someone's voice to the east and eagerly followed the sound. People and portraits that lined every wall whispered and gossiped away, so Fortitude roared out as loudest of all to turn their attention his way. "Has anyone noticed a lion like me? He's quiet and peaceful and sweet." Some good describing words of Patience. A grumpy old man said, "No lion but thee. Now please go back out to the street." Exiting gloomily, Fortitude wandered back through the library's maze. Patience, dear Patience, where are you? He pondered, while thinking of happier days. Pondered. What do you think pondered could mean? Was he wondering? He wondered, where did you go, Patience? And now this is a flashback in the story. In the beginning, young Patience was shy, but Fortitude thought he was rude. Weeks and then months and then years traveled by. Eventually, friendship ensued. So see how they're both right up here in the park in New York? Patience told stories of ducklings and moons, of wardrobes and buttons and fun. On cold snowy evenings or hot afternoons, Fortitude cherished each one. Rays from the sun had begun creeping in when water flew out from a sink. A little bronze lion said, "Gotcha, I win," and gave him a satisfied wink. The lion said, "Wait, you're not Patience. Oh no, the splash is a game that we play." "Patience?" asked Fortitude. "Where did he go? The sunrise is minutes away." "Today, haven't seen him," the lion confessed. "But I wouldn't worry, old chap. Perhaps you require some help on your quest. I think what you need is a map." So now we're inferring, not that it said, but that this line here knows Patience, right? By the words that the author tells us that he used to play that game with Patience. So we know Patience is a visitor of the library. Fortitude scanned every atlas he could before tossing each to the side. Only a library map would do good. Visitor's guide and map. Fortitude looks like he's ready to give up in this picture. Here's the map. How many hundreds of rooms can exist? Reading the map, he was shocked. Fortitude dashed to the places he'd missed, except through the doors that were locked. This library is very big. He searched every floor from the first to the third. Patience just couldn't be found. Fortitude thought, "I will not be deterred." What's on this floor labeled ground? Fortitude quickly crept down the dark hall and into a jungle of joy, with colorful pictures adorning each wall and books for each cat, girl, and boy. What a wonderful room it looks like. Fortitude prowled past Sendak and Ryland, Yolan and Pinkney and Bloom, while keeping his footsteps impeccably silent. He heard something in the next room. I think this looks like a library we would all love to be visiting on a day like today. "Patience," said Fortitude, "what are you doing?" But Patience stood still as a stone. "The sun's almost risen. The pigeons are cooing. You've got to get back to your throne." "Just one more paragraph," Patience declared. And then something caught Fortitude's eye. There lay the stories that Patience had shared. The monkeys, the pebble, the pie. We're learning that Patience loves to read, I think. "Patience, did you learn these stories for me?" Fortitude asked. But he knew. Patience just nodded and said, "Well, you see, I love sharing stories with you." The lions returned to their guard on the street, and nobody noticed they'd gone. Fortitude sat in his usual seat, and slowly the day carried on. But something was missing. Though Patience was found, Fortitude still felt a need. "Patience," he said, "when there's no one around, tonight, can we sneak in and read?" Fortitude sounds to me like he really didn't know about the joy of reading. And he loved all those stories that Patience had told. And when he found out that they were all in books, I think Fortitude is finding a love for learning and that curiosity of hearing different stories. So here's my story, Lost in the Library, for today. And something for you to ponder or think about. Why was the one lion called Patience, and why was the other lion called Fortitude? Maybe you could look up what fortitude means, and I think you all know what patience means, and see if their characteristic traits fit their name. So I miss you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the story, and maybe you can curl up somewhere in your house and read some good books.